Hey guys, how are you doing? So, Spin to Win. Well, it's a classic, but it's a classic for a good reason. It feels very good, it's very fast, it kills monster. You can play it from the start till the end of Oblivion 3 without any issue. You don't require a specific legendary relic to enable the build, and everything that you're gonna get while you're playing your first playthrough of the game is relics that's gonna be helping you scaling the build even further. And that's for the legendary relic. On the side of the support relic, well, it's nothing amazing. Like obviously you can scale this build very far, but you don't need a lot to get to the end of Oblivion 3. The build works very well with a little bit of gear and a little bit of relics. You will see on my side, I don't have something amazing, and it still works perfectly fine. So I'm not gonna let you watch the end of the fight, and then I will get more in depth with the build. So let's start with the gear. Weapon, base damage, melee skill damage. The first thing, ailment chance. But when you're starting, it's better to use the life leech one and then change to ailment change later to get the shock effect, which gives you basically 20% flat crit chance. So yeah, it's better to use the life leech at the beginning. I'm using base damage. I don't think the crit damage one is better, and we don't need the crit chance one, so base damage it is. The blaze cap, the blaze jacket, these two are completely depending on what you need to cap your resistance based on your relic, right? So you pick these depending on that. Then we get pure life on the shoulders. So the idea is that as long as we don't get one-shotted, we can instantly get back to full life. The idea is just to get enough life to not get one-shotted, right? So that's why I'm picking full life on the shoulder. Attack speed on the bracer, pure attack speed, instead of cooldown, because we don't really need cooldown. I'll show you there's a little bit of a tricks that we can use on the tree. We'll see that later. So attack speed on the bracers. The cooldown on the pens, because I could not find anything better. It's still useful, but if there was better, I would change it. Then I use move speed and mental resistance on the boots. Same, it's all about fixing my res, capping my res based on what I need, and I'm actually barely capped with all of that. If I remove a single piece of all res, then my lightning res goes down to like 30. So yeah, capping my res and getting some move speed. Obviously, it's a boots. Then this mana is better than life because otherwise it's harder to sustain your mana, because the mana cost will get higher and higher until you start to get some good reduction on the relics, and getting that plus mana on the accessory will help you with the mana orb, power orb, whatever, to sustain your mana. The more mana, the more base regen you get. So this is a huge help to perma sustain the cost of Spin2Win. And same with the glove, mana and reduction mana cost, because it helps a lot with the sustain. Now let's take a look at the passive tree or the Oblivion Bell. So I resetted it so I could show you in which order I would grab the point for this build. So I would first start the bottom, and going towards the bottom I would grab all the damage node that I can. Then I would grab the melee lifesteal as soon as possible, because that's very important. Then I would keep going down until I get stuck, at which point I would go back towards the top and try to rush the blessing, the additional blessing. So I would put the minimum requirement point in order to progress until I grab the fourth blessing and the additional bonus blessing at the start of the run. Then I would unlock the banish and unlock all the banish charges. Then I would go to the side and unlock the red portal. Once that's done, I would go back to the damage part of the tree and I would start filling the left side of the center. So 3 points in move speed here. Then I would grab some attack speed, all the crit chance, all the crit damage, some more attack speed, move speed. Then I would grab the melee damage there, and as soon as it's unlocked, I grab all the base damage. Then I finish filling up the left side of the center. And at that point, I just go back towards the top, and I start filling up all the nodes that I didn't max out. So the soulstone, the starting gold, the additional gold, a lot of soulstone gain. So that's gonna be very important. Then I would improve the red portal, the experience gain to make the roguelike element much stronger. Then reduce the cost of the blessing redraw. Then I start grabbing the reduced mana cost, and I would also grab the cooldown speed. Then I would grab the last cooldown speed point over there. And the final points I would use on the relic drop chance. Then the next point that I'm gonna get, I'm gonna finish filling up the relic drop chance, the trinket drop chance, and the blessed gear drop chance. So that's about it for the passive tree. So let's talk about the relic real quick. Although none of them are mandatory, the Scout's Medal is a very important one, because the quality of life you get from removing the slow from the Spin2Win is massive. So it's not mandatory because you can still jump around from pack to pack and spin on them at this point, but it feels way better to travel while spinning. So, you know, not mandatory, but in my opinion, this is the most important one to make the build feels good. Then you have the Tempest, which, well, gives you a 20% additional damage in the form of a proc on crit, and that's just since we have 100% crit chance, then basically to 20% more damage. Then it's also open a new vector of scaling. Now when you're gonna increase your movement speed, you're also gonna increase the damage of your double knife, which is the Spin2Win. And finally, it converts your damage from Fizz to Lightning, and Lightning has way more damage to grab from the Constellation tree than Fizz. So it's very good for us. The next three relics I want to talk about are these three, the Bundle of Syringes, the Skull of the Beast, and the Wheel of Death, because these three works very well together. Let me explain. The Bundle of Syringes gives you up to 550% melee skill damage, but you need to stack it 10 times. And the issue is you can only get the stacks when your life is not full and you life leech. If your life is full, well, doesn't matter how much life leech do you have, you won't be leeching life, which means you won't get a stack of syringes, of bloodshot. And that's an issue, because when you move very fast while spinning, then the monster don't have time to hit you, which means you never lose HP, which also means that you cannot stack this bloodshot. And the solution for that is to get Wheel of Death, which now makes you your dash, your shadow dash, remove his cooldown and his mana cost, and drain your HP. So the downsides become an upside, because since your HP goes down every time you spam the dash, then you have life to leech for Bloodshot. So these two synergize very well together. And since we are spamming the dash around to enable the Bundle of Syringes, well, the Skull of Beast also gets enabled. And the Skull of Beast gives you 5 stack of 20% more damage. So you basically double your damage with this. So this is gonna give you 550% increased damage, and this is gonna be 100% more damage. So these three relics work very well together, and in any melee skills build are gonna be making a lot of work. And these two can work for any build, because it affects all the damages, not only the melee, right? So these two can give you almost instantly 5 stacks and double damage. So that's a good thing to know, right? The last two relics I didn't mention are the Katinga Hunter and the Northern Belt. So this one basically is gonna make it so your reflex skilled gets you 2 5 stacks. So one stack of 5 gonna increase your movement speed, and the other stacks of 5 is gonna give you melee attack speed. So it's basically 2 for the price of 1 vector of damage. So this is a very good relic that doesn't take a lot of place and gives you a lot of damage just for the use of reflexes. And since we are using reflexes, the global buff is an increase of damage per rank, so it fits very well in the build. And the second one is the Northern Belt, which proc lasso. So in a few seconds, we're gonna see the Constellation tree, and you're gonna understand why we are using the lasso. But as you can see, the lasso also gives you increased damage on global buff. So it's also a very good additional buff of damage for our main skill. And finally, all the support relics that I have are really mid. If you look at them, I'm still even using a blue one. So yeah, I'm not having a lot of chance and luck with improving these relics, right? And my best one is not even the best one, but this is one socket melee skill damage. So that's, you want basically to fill up your relic socket with this, except you don't want ignite chance or fire resistance, but you want one of these two affixes to be lightning damage or melee damage. But I don't know, I've never seen that on an affixes. But lightning damage, yes, you can get lightning damage. Crit damage would also be good. Crit chance multiplier is not the best, but it can still be useful because you're not crit chance cap at the start of the run, but you get cap as you progress through your run. So the best would be melee skill damage and lightning damage or crit damage, right? And you want to fill up the whole tree with that. You can also use these double knife damage, which is worse than the melee skill damage, but it's the same thing. You want to fill it up, fill the tree with these two. And yeah, you basically want at least one damage affixes, which I don't have, but if you get lucky, and maybe with the crafting system that's coming soon, then we're gonna be able to do that. I'm also using some of these move speed while affected by prayer, so we are using the prayer of vengeance to get more crit chance and more damage, crit damage, and basically it gives us move speed for free. So for free, I mean, it's in our relic slot, so that's the price of it. And you get damage thanks to Tempest. So it's another way I got to increase the damage, and that's what I'm using. So I have a few of them, and finally I'm using this, which is absolutely useless, and I need to replace it. So don't pay attention to that one. Really what you want is damage, move speed, and maybe one of these, shock statue intensity, because it helps a lot with capping your crit chance as soon as possible during your run. Getting to 100% crit chance is always feel very good, and getting shock statue intensity when you almost instantly apply shock on monster with how much hit per second you have on double knife, it feels very good. At least one of it is pretty decent and should be in your tree. The next thing is one of these also. I don't know how good it's gonna be on your gear, or how much you're gonna get on your legendary affixes, but fixing your res is also very important. So getting to 75 on Oblivion 3 like this, it's pretty good, and it's gonna make you very tanky. You're gonna feel the tankiness, and you're gonna be able to face tank everything. So just one of these, all res, because it's also it's not only elemental resistance, it's also apply phys res, so this is very good, right? So one shock statue, one elemental res, and everything else is melee skill damage, double knife damage, or some move speed. Alright, that's gonna cover the relics. Now let's check the constellation. The constellation map in order to show you the the order in which I would take the Constellation. So obviously first, well, you're gonna grab the middle one. Then instead of going top, I would go for the power orb first. These are very strong and help you sustain your mana very well. So I think these power orb are the most important thing to get first, right? Then I would grab this wheel second, because it doesn't look like it, but getting hit by the lasso and having these stacks up 20 times mean 50% less lightning resistance on monster, or reduce 50%. That's very strong, on top of giving you some lightning damage and shock intensity, which, as we saw before, it basically means flat crit chance. So the shock duration doesn't really matter, but you finish the wheel in order to unlock other stuff. So basically these are the second wheel I would take. Then I would go and activate the agility orbs. The agility orbs will give you move speed, attack speed, and on this tree you get some flat evasion, which doesn't do a lot, but it's still pretty good to have. Then I would activate the crit damage for the orbs. Now you're gonna get 3 orbs at first, but then you're gonna get 4, so that means that 60% crit damage from this point alone. Then you get another 30 from these two. And then you're gonna activate this Constellation. It gives you 2% move speed per agility orb, on top of the move speed it already gives you. Then you get an additional max agility orb, so you're gonna be rocking 4 orb of agility. And then this is just so you can gain agility up very fast. And the reason for that is because we're going to be using these 4 points right here that activate every time you gain an agility orb of a power orb. So the power orb you're going to generate passively, basically by spinning and spending your mana. And the agility orb, you're going to get it by hitting monster. So as you can see here, you have a 8% chance when you hit an elite to generate an agility orb. So on bosses or when you are killing elite on the map, you're gonna generate agility orb. And every time you do so, you're gonna be reducing all your cooldown by 1 second. And that's very, very strong. So this little combo helps us get permanent mana, max mana, and also a lot of move speed, attack speed, which means damage, and basically reducing our cooldown to 0 very fast, like you saw in the footage. Then all we have left is take some support. So this is a good one. You get some AoE, some move speed, some vacuum from the loot. And you're also gonna be able to take this support, which gives us more gold, and also which was it? Yeah, a little bit of damage every time you pick up gold. So it's not amazing, but you know, it's still pretty decent, right? And with this, well, we used every point as efficiently as we could. So that's about it for the Constellation. So the video is about to end, but before you leave, guys, take a look at my stats. As you can see, I have fire damage, plague damage, and a little bit of lightning damage, but honestly, this is not good at all. My stats is all over the place, and I hope the crafting mechanics that are coming soon will help us fix that. But if you can min-max the build and focus everything on lightning and melee damage, then the build's gonna be really strong. I think I saw someone on the official Discord post a video where he would do like 800 million damage per tick on the Spin2Win, and he had full min-maxed Relic. So it's very strong. Like it goes really far. The build goes very, very far. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you guys have fun with the build, and that you can enjoy the game. See ya!